What's up, everyone? My name is Chris Record, and welcome to the Meta Marketing Masterclass. This is actually a 5-day academy that's going to teach you how to be more effective when it comes to marketing on Facebook. The primary focus over the next 5 days is going to be able to teach you how to increase your engagement, meaning that if you're currently getting like 3 or 4 likes or 10 likes per post, how to be able to get 50, 60, or even 100 likes per post. Or if you're currently getting 30, 40, 50 likes per post, let's show you how to get 400, 500 likes per post. Not just likes, but comments, engagement, video views. But even more important is those are just vanity metrics, right? Who cares about likes? Does that make you money? Well, actually, yes. Another thing we're going to talk about is how those likes make you money. They make you money in a couple ways. For example, most of these platforms, including Meta, will pay you for the engagement you get. And a lot of people don't know this. They'll pay you on your personal Facebook. They'll pay you on a fan page. They'll actually pay you for posts that go viral. So it is in your best interest to learn how to be able to get a lot of engagement, because they'll cut you a check for it. They'll cut you up to $30,000 a month for it, actually, on your personal profile. But not only that, but we actually teach something called social selling. It's a strategy on how to be able to convert that engagement into monetization, how to be able to do it properly. There's also a lot of things that we avoid through this course, right? We teach you what not to do. We teach you how to not throw up all over people about your business all the time. It is annoying. Like if you're a real estate agent, all you're doing is just posting about, new listing, new listing, new listing, new listing. It's your audience doesn't really care. And you might be thinking, well, I'm just marketing my business. What I'm going to introduce you to is a better way to market your business. Or maybe you're a network marketer and you're constantly talking about your company, throwing up about how great it is and how much money they can make. I'm here to tell you that's not effective. There's a much better way to market and promote. All of these current things that people are doing, we could literally spend hours just scrolling the newsfeed, looking at people doing this. Most everybody's doing it wrong, right? They're not treating Facebook like they would a traditional social media network. So today, we are going to unlearn everything you think you know about Facebook, and we're going to show you how to build it properly. That is all part of a program put together called a 5-day Meta Marketing Masterclass. So what I'm going to do real quick is do a quick little review of it. So we've got a Meta Marketing Masterclass. This is the live sessions that we're doing, but let's go through the actual module. So module number 1 is going to be Facebook Foundations, right? This one we're recording it live, and then you're probably watching this right now as a replay. So we're going to be focusing on the foundational aspects of Facebook marketing. So today is foundations, such as building a personal brand versus a faceless brand, and what types of things increase engagement when you post. We're also going to talk a little bit about what not to do today, some things that'll absolutely kill your reach, right? Then tomorrow, the next session, module number 2, we're going to talk about mastering the algorithm. Now, this is actually probably my favorite session, if I had to pick one, because we're going to actually discuss the Facebook algorithm. It's different than a lot of other platforms. So we're going to talk about how it's different. But most importantly, we're going to talk about a content strategy that can 10x the engagement you are currently getting. I'll talk to you a little bit about it today, but tomorrow we're really going to dive in. Okay. Then we're going to talk about the different types of content, which type of content is more likely to get engagement, which ones are going to be better for the algorithm. And we're going to show examples of how to be able to get massive growth. Then module 3, we're going to cover the social selling system. Now we're going to start turning that engagement into income, right? This is where it gets fun, when you're actually making money. So we're going to specifically talk about TLC, traffic, leads, and conversions, right? So we're going to specifically talk about that. We're also going to introduce something called KLT factor. How you can build the K stands for know, the L stands for like, and the T stands for trust. How you can get people to know you, like you, and trust you by using concepts such as power positioning, authority, and leverage. Okay, after that, we're going to do an entire module just on content. We're going to get you guys to become experts when it comes to creating content. And the goal is to find a content style that works for you. So I'm going to share a bunch of different ones to try to find something that would be a good fit for you. Then we're going to wrap things up with Module 5, leveling up your DM game. And when we level up your DM game, that's going to be showing you literally how to be able to get people to DM you, how to have those conversations, what the proper DM etiquette is, and how to be able to properly promote your business products and services. So this is all part of our 5-day Meta Marketing Masterclass. So I'm pretty excited about this. Now, I could talk from experience. Let me share with you a little bit about my personal background. I don't remember the exact day I got on Facebook, but it was somewhere around 2008. And when I first got on Facebook, I grew my profile within a year to 5,000 friends, essentially hit the limit on Facebook, 5,000 friends that were all professionals, and ended up generating over 7 figures from Facebook. And people would always ask me, how did you make so much money from Facebook? And this is back in the day. In fact, it might even be fun somewhere in this course. I may, if I'm willing to kind of humble myself, I may go back and actually find one of those old videos. We'll see. We'll see if I get around to it. That might be kind of fun. But I could show you some of my old training videos. I used to teach people how to market on Facebook back in 2008, 2009. So I've been doing this for quite a long time. Not only did I max out my following, but I maxed out my following in the real estate niche. So it was 5,000 people that were pretty much all involved in real estate one way or the other. And they were also local. So I actually targeted local areas, real estate agents in a large metropolitan area. And then I would go around and I would have meetings all throughout the metropolitan area with all these real estate agents and sell programs on marketing and courses. And it was very highly successful. And then eventually I got a subscription-based club where they could all join to learn from me. So I've been doing this a long time. I've taught a lot of people how to make a lot of money on Facebook, and everything from organic to paid advertising. At one point, I ran one of the largest Facebook advertising clubs in the world with 30,000 members. I got all the way up to 50,000 members at one point, but about 30,000 active members. And I've also created and sold courses on Facebook advertising that have generated millions of dollars. So I'm somebody who's speaking with experience when it comes to this. Now, something interesting has happened to me, which is I have gone through a few iterations of how I use Facebook. In the beginning, I was somebody who just was all about shoving content out there. I used to think quantity was the most important thing. So I was posting 2-3 times a day, every single day, you name it. I was just like living and breathing on Facebook. The problem was I was also scrolling through the news feed. I was just spending so much time on Facebook. It was actually quite annoying, to be honest. But I was making money, so it didn't matter. Then after a while, I started realizing the more that I was posting, the less engagement I was getting. And so I started kind of finding this balance between quantity and quality. And I started realizing, wow, there's an actual algorithm here that I should learn and master. And so I started realizing what types of content did really well on Facebook. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into 2 profiles. I'm going to log into a Facebook personal profile, and I'm going to log into a fan page. By no means is this like the greatest profiles or greatest fan pages you've ever seen. They're literally going to be just for example purposes, just to illustrate points that I want to make. Some of you watching probably have much better engagement, probably have much better profiles. That's not the point. The point is that if you're willing to listen and unlearn some things you've learned over the years, if you're willing to try this out, something new, I think you're going to find a lot of value in this course. And so I'm going to kind of show you a little bit. I'm going to kind of give you like a visual demonstration of some of the things that are possible for you. The first thing to understand is there's really 2 different ways to grow your business on Facebook. And we're going to call this, one is going to be a personal brand. This is you personally. This is you putting yourself out there, right? Your name, your face, your voice, your pictures, your photos. This is you putting yourself out there. So if you're somebody who just tends to be private, does not want to share photos of yourself, does not want to disclose things about your personal life, does not want that attention, that is fine. This strategy will still work. There's another type of way that you can do this, which is faceless. There's a completely, entirely different thing. Now, in a future course, we're actually going to do an entire faceless course, teaching you exactly how to do it faceless. During the next few days, I will be touching a little bit on faceless to be able to show you examples of it, but we're not going to fully dive into it this week. This week is going to be a little bit more for people who want to build a personal brand, people who want to grow their personal Facebook. So with that being said, let's start by jumping in, and I just want to kind of share my screen. And I'm going to start walking you through kind of some interesting things and learning a little bit in the process, right? So the first place we're going to start is right here on my personal profile, facebook.com/Chris Record. Pretty straightforward, right? I got the little verified badge. The reason I have the verified badge is because I'm an influencer and people tend to copy my profile. So I thought it was worth the gimmick of paying for it. So the first thing we're going to kind of focus on is we're going to focus on metrics today. Even though they're vanity metrics, we're still going to focus on them. The first thing to look at here is 65,000 followers. These are the amount of people that follow my personal profile. This is not a fan page. These are personal profile. The amount of people you're following does not matter. Do not be concerned with that. It's just this number here, 65,000. So we're going to teach you how to get this into the thousands. Okay. My goal with this week is to give you some strategies that can help you grow this into the thousands, or at least understand how to start down that path. But this is going to help you a lot with your engagement. The next thing I want to do is I want you to scroll down and you'll notice here, friends. Now, if you're on your own profile, what I want you to do is I want you to take some notes as of day one going through this course. I want you to take some notes. How many personal friends do you have on Facebook and how many followers do you have? At the time of this recording, I have 3,000 friends. Now, this was 5,000 prior to recording. I actually removed 2,000 friends. I'm going to show you why I did that in tomorrow's session. I did that to help boost the algorithm, and I'm going to show you the effectiveness of this. So something very interesting happened. I actually removed 2,000 people and my numbers exploded. Okay. So now next we're going to look at content. Now we're going to look at different types of content, but let's look at some content here. So this is a picture. It's just a picture right here of just me and a dog, right? 1,700 likes, hearts, engagements, right? 2,000 comments. So it's literally 2,000 comments inside of here on this post, right? 1,700 and 2,000. Now, I want you to kind of remember these. If you remember these numbers, just round this up to a couple thousand, just so you can kind of have an idea of numbers in your head. But remember those numbers, because I'm going to make a point right now that's going to show you why it is so valuable to go through this course. Let's go down here. Here's another picture right here, 1,500 and 1,200. So you can see here slightly less, but similar, over 1,000 likes, over 1,000 comments from personal profile. And then here's another picture right here, a few hundred. Here's another picture right here, a couple thousand. So as you can see here, 900 comments, a couple thousand. So again, some of you may be getting a lot higher engagement than this, but I want to remind you that this is a personal profile. Okay, personal profile. This is not a business page. This can be done on personal. Okay, so now I want to go through some of my previous ones. Now, if you look at my previous ones, only 125 and 31. Let's go through. Look, 230 comments, right? 124 and only 17 comments. You'll notice a lot less. Look at this, 141 and 15 comments. Okay, especially the comments, 86 and 23. So you'll notice a lot lower, right? 61 and 11. Like really, I'm taking time over here and I'm making music and I'm posting it, trying to do things right. And I'm only getting 11 comments, right? That is because the algorithm, I was not working it to my advantage. I was not understanding. Like, let's just look at the comments for now. 26 comments. Remember the number 2,000, 18 comments. Okay, keep looking. 20 comments, 3 comments. What about this one? Here's a beautiful song that I did, only 34 and 3 comments. So I want you to understand there was a critical moment where I changed completely what I was doing. Now, this was a little bit more viral because I got featured on the news for helping a news anchor got robbed, and I was able to go tussle with the guy and go get the stuff back. It was pretty cool. The whole thing about how it happened, it was pretty cool. Outside of the anomaly of something like that, go back to 11 comments. And what about this? How about this? 2 comments. Now, this is something I worked a lot on, right? So you might say, okay, well, Chris, I understand you get a lot of engagement because you have, 3,000 friends and you have 60,000 followers. Well, I'm here to tell you that means nothing unless you understand the algorithm. This is an example of me making no effort whatsoever for the algorithm, just no effort whatsoever, right? Literally just my friend who's in the video comments, he's just in the video. And then we got one other comment that looks like spam. Somebody's inviting me to some sort of event in New York. So it's not even, they're not even real comments. You could pretty much erase both of these. This is the person that was in the video, right? Probably tagged in the post, but that's the person that was in the video, and this is some spam. So you got to understand, how can somebody go from basically no comments and basically no love to getting thousands of comments, right? To getting 890 comments, to getting 300 comments over here, to getting on every single post, 1,200 comments, to getting 2,000 comments. So the thing is that once you understand how the algorithm works, you can actually make some subtle, small tweaks. And so this is kind of what I'm going to be going over through the week. Tomorrow, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on this specifically. So the whole day tomorrow is going to be focused on the specific hack that I did. So if you guys are watching the replays, in module 2, I'm going to show you that there's a tool that I used. Number 1, there's a tool that I used. Number 2, there was a content strategy that I used. And number 3 is, if I knew what I know now, I think these numbers could have been 3 or 4 times bigger. That it was just an experiment. So what I did was I experimented, and I was like, I don't want to just post and just get, 2 likes, one from my mom and one from my friend when I have thousands of friends. Why is the algorithm not showing them? And here's what a lot of people do. A lot of people blame outwardly. They go, oh, Facebook is shadow banning me. Oh, Facebook is not giving me exposure. Oh, this, why is nobody engaging with my stuff? It's don't point outwardly. Okay. The thing that I like about engagement, even though it's a vanity metric, the thing that I like about engagement is that where performance is measured, performance improves. And if we can simply get good at using engagement as a measurement tool, then we can start to analyze and figure out how to grow it. And, I never really cared. And here's why. This is the big thing. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you something else in a minute. It's going to blow your mind too. But here's why I never really cared. Because, and tell me if you agree, because most of us don't view Facebook the same way we view other social networks. It's simply how it comes down. We view Facebook as like the old network that we've had for a long time, and that's where our friends and our family are, and that's where we post some pictures when somebody gets married. If you want to find out, like if somebody got married or if somebody had a baby, or you want to see some cool Halloween costumes people had, you kind of go to Facebook. It's a little bit of an older demographic, and it's just kind of a place where friends hang out and you scroll the newsfeed. And it's very different than the experience of Instagram, for example. On Instagram, it's much more lifestyle driven. It's much more, the images are all, people care. They take time into posting quality images. They're doing all these reels, Instagram reels. They're doing all the stories. They're showcasing all their stories. They're doing all this stuff on Instagram. So it's a much different experience over there. People are trying harder. And then you go over to TikTok and it's a mind-blowing different experience. On TikTok, literally every single TikTok is trying to go viral. Like on TikTok, you're not posting content for your friends. You're not posting content for your family. You're not posting content for your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews. You're just not, right? So every platform is different, and Facebook is slept on. So I actually think Facebook is probably, in my opinion, depending on your business, but for most of you, Facebook is probably the #1 best platform to make you money of all social networks. I believe you have a better chance of making money on Facebook than any other social network, period. And that's a bold statement. But the reason is because the Facebook algorithm is actually powerful and easy to tap into. But in order to tap into it, you have to stop thinking of Facebook the way you always have. You have to think of Facebook like Instagram. You have to think of Facebook like TikTok. You have to think of Facebook like YouTube. You have to understand it is an algorithm and you are a content creator. Your goal is to go onto Facebook and create a piece of content that is designed to get engagement. Literally every single day, your goal is to do that. Now, let's quickly talk about YouTube, because YouTube is going to be very analogous to this training, right? On YouTube, this makes total sense. You understand YouTube has an algorithm, and if you want your videos to go viral, then you're going to need to figure out some consistency. You're probably going to need to have a channel that consistently posts videos. You're going to have to make good videos. You're going to have to spend some time making a good video, probably edit it, and then you're going to need to get a good thumbnail. And you're going to have a good title. And then you're going to have, the video's got to be catchy, and it's got to be fast paced. It's got to be attention grabbing. And then you got to figure out a way to be able to get subscribers, right? There's a whole algorithm there. But if you master it, then you can literally get millions and millions and millions of views from other people all over the world. Even if you don't know those people, right? So the question is, why are we not treating Facebook like that? If we treated Facebook like that, then we would all be very, very successful on Facebook, because Facebook is easier to blow up than YouTube. It's easier, but nobody treats Facebook like YouTube. Nobody treats it that way. So I want you to kind of put on this hat and think about Facebook this way. Facebook is where you go every single day to create a piece of content designed to get as much engagement as possible. That's part one. Part two, your content needs to be directed towards a very specific audience. So your content needs to be niche specific. Okay. Number three, your following, which is in this case, your friends. If it's your personal profile, your friends need to all be in that niche. Otherwise, it's a waste for them. Now, I am going to show you a few hacks this week. I'm going to teach you some hacks about how to be able to separate your family and close friends away from your business. I think that is very wise. I think a lot of you should consider doing that. But every time you make a business post, I'll show you how to be able to separate everything. Facebook gives you all the tools to be able to do this. And then fourth, I need you to start understanding that it's a process of quantity and quality. But I really want to just say quantity. I'm going to give it to you right now. The 95% of you, here's your entire quantity that you need to remember. 1 post per day on your personal Facebook profile, designed to get engagement specifically for a niche audience. So if you're taking notes, pause, whatever, write that down. 1 post per day. I don't want you to post more than once, and I don't want you to post less than once. I want you every single day. I'm going to give you an entire strategy right now to generate 6, maybe even 7 figures from Facebook. Okay. But the first most important thing is going to be figuring out a plan. So I want you to post once per day to your Facebook profile, engagement, something that's going to get you engagement and something that is niche specific. The second thing that I want you to do, this is going to be your second objective. This one's going to be over the course of probably a year, but I want you to grow your audience to 5,000 friends on your personal profile. And again, if you're watching right now and you're like, I don't want to use my personal profile, fine. I'll also show you how to do it with a fan page. So you don't have to check out quite yet. But for everybody else listening, for the 90%, that's 10% of you may not want to do this, but 90% of you, I want you to grow your profile to 5,000 friends that are very, very, very niche specific. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that in just a minute. That's going to be the focus today. The third piece is, again, daily content post every single day to get engagement. That's niche specific. Number 2, grow your friends list to 5,000, niche specific. Number 3, I'm going to teach you a strategy that is going to, tomorrow you're going to learn it, but today I'll kind of tease it a little bit. I want you to understand that the Facebook algorithm requires pruning. Okay. In order to really maximize the Facebook profile, you're going to actually probably have to get rid of some dead weight. Now, you don't have to. It's going to depend on your goal. You don't have to, right? If the people that would be excluded from this are like maybe if you're like a pretty big influencer or you're a celebrity of some kind, then maybe you don't have to ever bother removing anybody. But if you're a little bit, this is like for most of you that like aren't big influencers, you don't have a large following and you need to build one, you're going to have to prune along the way. So essentially what my strategy is I'm constantly adding new friends and I'm constantly removing friends that are non-engaged. So what will happen is I'll make, let's say, 5 posts. And if somebody does not engage on any 5, let's say I make 10 posts. If somebody does not engage on those 10 posts, then I will remove them from my friends list to make room for somebody that will. When you do this cycle of adding new friends and removing non-engaged and adding new friends and removing non-engaged, what happens is you're going to end up with a sweet spot, which is going to be 5,000 niche specific friends that are all highly engaged. And then I'm going to teach you the follower secret, how to be able to start getting thousands and thousands and thousands of followers on top of that. But imagine, let's fast forward. You've traveled through the jungle, you've forged your path, and at the end there's a kingdom. You've gone up to the castle, and you're staring down at the journey that took place. Let's go ahead and describe what it's like in the castle. Imagine that your business, you have a business. Maybe you're a network marketer, an affiliate marketer, a real estate agent, a loan officer, a public speaker, an author, a coach, a consultant. You're in some type of career that benefits to get exposure, right? It benefits to get notoriety. It benefits to get visibility, okay? You're no longer obscure. You've got 5,000 niche specific friends that are your target audience, and they are all highly engaged because you've gone pruning. That right there, if you do this properly, that should generate you should be getting like 1,000 likes or 1,000 engagements, 1,000 comments every single post, okay? And you should be able to generate 6, if not 7 figures in annual revenue just from Facebook alone. Obviously, there's no guarantees, and you want to be doing it along the way. So like, for example, I'm going to show you guys tomorrow, I'm going to show you guys that there's going to be a certain post frequency that's like, you got to get a certain amount of posts that the first step you got to do is learn how to create content that is engaging. You can't remove people if they're unengaged, if you're the one that doesn't know how to get engagement. So tomorrow we're going to cover more about this, but for those of you that are like liking what I'm talking about and for the live viewers right now, I will tell you this. is that the number one reason people are not engaging with you is not because of them. The number one, you are actually the number one factor. So before you start removing friends, you have to first fix you. You have to learn how to be able to create content that is engaging. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. Okay, what to do, what not to do. But the first step is you got to learn how to create content that's engaging. Once you're actually able to create content that's engaging, then what you need to do is you need to create enough pieces of content where you have given fair chance to everybody on your friends list. You've given the algorithm fair chance to show them the content, and they are literally choosing not to engage. Then I'm going to teach you how to be able to properly remove the ones that are not engaging and replace them with ones that are. It's that simple. So it's a cycle of like, as you're going to 5,000, you don't wait till you get to 5,000 because it'll mess up the algorithm. If you wait till you get to 5,000 friends, then you're going to have a whole bunch of unengaged people, and that's going to hurt the algorithm. What you want is if your post goes to 1,000 friends, your ultimate goal is you want as many of them as possible to see your content in the newsfeed. That means the algorithm has to be on your side. You have to be playing ball with the algorithm, right? So those need to be people that are likely to engage with your content. You need to have good content, it needs to be niche specific, it needs to have consistency. You need to understand those things, and your audience has to be an engaged audience. Once you do that, then it's just a matter of adding new ones, removing, adding, removing, adding, removing. And it's this nice little delicate balance. Your goal is to get to 5,000 engaged friends. And at that point, you can, you no longer need to remove. You can if you want, but now you're really going to be focused on followers. You're going to get to 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 followers. Okay, so again, that's kind of what we're focusing on today. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to give you another perspective of all of this. So not only do we have personal profiles, right? But you also have pages. So here's an example of a page. See, it says manage page. Now here's an example of a page. A page is different because I can't have any friends here. Nobody can friend request me. I can't friend request anybody. But as you can see here, you can also build a page for your brand. And a page for your brand is where you can also double up and get a lot more reach. So here I have 143,000 followers, and we'll kind of go through and look at some page stuff, right? So we'll just kind of go through an example, not much engagement here, pretty basic, but here's an example. Okay, 13,000 likes and 1,600 shares. Okay, so 13,000 likes, right? This is just a music video that I did or whatever, and this even with it muted somewhere. So 13,000 likes. So just to give you an example, this kind of engagement is really not possible to get on a personal profile. So I want you to think of your personal profile as like year one, and these pages is like, this is like the 5-year plan. Like your personal profile is the 1-year plan. Let's focus on 1 year to generate a 6-figure a year income producing machine with your personal profile. And your pages is more of like a 5-year game plan. These are pages that you can build up, but these pages will eventually completely dominate everything else. So as you can see here, 13,000 likes there, or here's just a picture of me and my kids. As you can see here, 16,000 likes, right? So here's 16,000 likes just for a picture of me and my kids. I'm not going to get 16,000 likes on my personal Facebook. So this is also something that you want to understand. Here's a picture of me right here, 84,000 likes. Okay. So even looking at this now, the engagement's not as high because the algorithm because this is just manipulating the algorithm. So they don't necessarily know me, right? So they don't necessarily know, they don't know how they don't know what to say to me, right? The comments and everything's low, but the likes are high because it's easy for people to be able to like this, right? Just a motivational quote from something comes in. So these are techniques that I also can teach you, which is to get 84,000 likes on something. This is more likely to happen on a fan page, right? 580 likes on a business thing. This is just not going to happen on personal. 1,600 likes. You kind of keep going. 1,100 likes, 700 likes, 244 comments. Just doing live. These are just live streams. Just going live. What Chris Record was live. Just doing lives. 900 likes. So this is an opportunity for you to be able to see that you can get more engagement with fan pages. But it is going to require a little bit more effort. 12,000 likes just with a picture of me right here. So it's going to require a little bit more effort, but this is going to be sort of the next side to the game. It's going to be the pages. But for this week, we're mostly going to focus on personal profiles. But you can also see, like, I'll just go, for example, to a faceless one. Like this is just an example of a random faceless page that I did, 13,000 likes, just random. It's about billiards. I was just doing some marketing stuff with it. But as you can see here, like, 19,000 likes on a video, 8,000 comments, 15,000 shares, and you could just build these faceless brands that are just nothing, right? So this is level 3. Level 3 is really going faceless. So level 1 is your personal profile. Level 2 is a personal page. Level 3 is a faceless page. And this is like, you could just do these. I mean, I've got hundreds of them. You know, I've got just endless amounts of pages. And I use these for marketing purposes. Usually I'll put together a viral video, put it on a page and try to sell